Hello, everyone. This is John Dady, your host for Patriots Unite. It's 10:36, July 4th, 2023. So outside watching the neighborhood fireworks. This neighborhood is, they're really great. A great show. I can't go anywhere around this whole area and see a better fireworks display than right here, my front porch, or the back deck. It's just surrounded by them. Hope everybody had a good and safe 4th of July. As usual, there's things on my mind. And I'm going to ask your Patriots to do something and share my request with everyone. Whether you want to participate or not, please share. I get a lot of views, but not a lot of shares. This is how we get information out. It's sharing. So please share this. We need to do something to show the leftists, the Democrats, that we're coming together, we're uniting. Going to Trump rallies is great, but that's not enough. So I put an article on my Patriots Unite page today and my other page. Yeah, it's a 5-minute read, and I know how that goes. But anyway, so here's what I want y'all to do. First of all, remember the Paul Revere ride. Remember the signals in the Old North Church. One lantern if I land, two if I see. Well, the signal was two lanterns. That way, Dawes and Revere and the other guys that were writing out to warn the people, especially at Concord, how the British were going to attack. Well, we need to update this. We need to add a third lantern. One if I land, two if I see, three if from within. Our enemies are from within. So I have a simple request. Show some unity. I've already done it. Our third lantern, I think, should be represented by a red, white, and blue. I have red, white, and blue lights strung across the front window of the house for everybody to see. You can put them on your window for everybody to see. I don't care. Light them up red, white, and blue every night to show our unity. Put a flag out to show our unity. But the lights, it's hard to miss those. And spread this. It shows the left. We need to spread this like wildfire. How hard is it to do this? It's not. If you can't do that and you claim to be a patriot, then you're really not. We need to start letting the left know that we are aware and we're uniting and we're going to stop you. Now, beat this horse to death and how we stopped him on our first volley against him. It's too much to ask, too. So this is even easier. This is an even easier ask. And I think every one of our state capitol buildings in our red state should be illuminated red, white, and blue. That Gay Pride Month, which is BS, is over. So, it's time to light it up with red, white, and blue as a notice that this is America and that we're paying attention and we're coming after the left. We need to unite. See, they don't expect us to unite because we never do. And you got to do the thing that your enemy is least expecting of you. And make no doubt about it, the Democrat Party, they are the enemy within. We need to let them know we're not going to take it anymore. First thing we have to do is unite. Show those colors, people. If you can't do that, if you won't do that, you truly deserve what they're going to do to you if they win. You deserve it. Now, a lot of people I see all the time that, I'm going to say another thing. Y'all, like I said, I've been talking out there to people that are 40 years campaign before. I've been advisor on another campaign. I've been around the block a few times in these things. And you all just don't understand the game that is afoot. And then I ask you, what are you doing? Why aren't you involved? Well, I'm too busy. I got the jobs, I got the kids, and I did blah, blah, blah. Okay. Instead of using your kids as an excuse why you're not paying attention, they should be the reason why you are paying attention and why you are actively standing up against and pushing back against the leftist who seeks to enslave your children, your grandchildren into tyranny. That's their goal. If you haven't figured that one out by now, I just don't, wow. Then just stay out of it. Don't vote. Don't do anything. You're part of the problem. This should be very evident to even the most obtuse people in our society on what is going on. And to the Christians, I'm very spiritual. I've never had any good experiences with organized religion. Let's just put it this way. They're never there when I needed them. And it's great. Pray to God for guidance, help. But then get off your knees and unite, organize, and strike back in the ways that I showed you. I've done a video on the Lazy Patriots Guide to Defeat Tyranny. It's really simple. Showing our unity by really simply doing these lights like I suggested and sharing that everywhere. Eventually, somebody with a huge audience is going to catch on to this and going to go, great idea. So pray to God, then get off your knees and start fighting back against Satan. I know your argument. Well, John, we can't beat Satan. You're right, we can't. We know that Jesus comes back and beats Satan. We understand all of that. However, I'm going to say this again. We don't know the date and time or hour when he's coming back. In the interim, I firmly believe that it's our job, our duty to show and express our love for God by standing up against Satan. Knowing that we can't beat him, still standing up against him and pushing back. We can do that. We can push him back. We can slow him down. That can be done. I'm pretty sure that God be looking down going, hey, I like that. I really do. My people are showing me something. Now let's get this second coming thing and let's get it going. What if the second coming, the tribulation, the final part of Revelations is triggered by us standing up and fighting Satan? Think about it. We all know God doesn't like lukewarm people. People sit in the middle. People do nothing. He wants you to pick a side. Good side, bad side. Pick a side. He'll respect that. He sure doesn't respect people who just sit there and do nothing. Pick a damn side. There's no such thing as not being involved in this battle, because it's going to affect every single one of us, whether you do anything or not. So you know what? You might as well put in the effort to unite, organize, and push back against the Democrats of Satan's party. You all know why I call them Democrats. Nobody can argue that name I have for them. So pray, get off your knees, join up, organize. It's not hard to do. I'll show you how to do it. I've been trying to show you how to do it, but you don't share anything. I want feedback. This is live. I don't know how many of you are signing in. I don't see anybody. It's late. It's 4th of July. Probably bad timing, but I'll have it out later. So turn those lights on, red, white, and blue. Share this everywhere. We need our red states. We need our constitutional sheriff's department light up their offices red, white, and blue. The police departments that are still not on the left, do the same thing. Don't kid yourself, people. There's a lot of law enforcement that's doing the bidding of the leftist. And you go, oh, but they're not. Yeah, they are, because a lot of them believe it because they've been indoctrinated and dumbed down, like most of the country. And then those who fight against it, they'll be threatened with their job, their family, all kinds of nastiness. If you don't do what we tell you to do, we're going to do this, and that to you. They fall in line. Instead of standing up and raising hell about it, they go along with it. See, that's how evil wins. That old saying that, evil wins because good people sit back and do nothing. Oh, that's very, very true. So fast forward a couple years, we lose this country, and you have all your freedoms taken away from you. And don't sit there and tell me, oh, John, we got our guns. You know what? I can think of 4 or 5 ways right now that I could cause 90% of you to give up your guns tomorrow without you even putting up a fight. If I know how to do these things, the Democrats sure as hell know how to do these things. I was raised by them and know how these psychos think. So, and you all don't, and they know that. They laugh at you. I know. I've been to dozens of their meetings, and again, I was raised by them. They have zero respect for you. I mean, less than zero respect for us. Main reason why, you want to know? Because we don't fight back. They're bullies. They bully us, and we let them. And like any bully, you're just going to keep doing it. They have zero respect for you because you don't fight back. So we're in spiritual war. We're losing. Our side isn't trying. They pray to God, then they hide under the bed. I'm pretty sure God isn't going to come down here with his angels and save our asses as long as we're hiding from Satan under the bed. Why would he? I mean, would we be deserving of it? I don't think so. That's my spiritual belief on all of this. If you think that sitting back and doing nothing and waiting for the Savior to come down and save you is the answer, well, I guess we'll find out sooner or later who's right and who's wrong. Be a hell of a time to find out, isn't it? Last possible second. I think you might want to rethink your positions about sitting back and waiting for a savior, whether it's a mortal savior like Trump that you all think is a savior, and he's a damn good man. I wish he was stronger. I wish he was tougher like I am. And he's not. Smart guy, but you got to be more smart. You've got to be as tough against your enemy, tougher than what they are against us. And not just with rhetoric, with hardcore actions. That's the only thing Satan and his followers understand. This talk, they do not understand. Action, they understand, they respect it. We don't get it. We don't do that. So, yeah, I would personally be oh my God, I'll tell you what. First day in the job, if I was running this country, I'm going to order the Marines to go out and arrest every one of the Biden people, all of the cabinet members of the Biden administration, the Clintons, the Obamas, you know the drill. You know who's been involved in this. FBI directors, former and current CIA directors, all of them. Because they are guilty of treason. We don't need special investigators. We don't need a corrupt FBI to go and investigate their buddies, because they've already proven time and time again they're protecting them. And we don't need any of that. We have plenty of evidence to know what they did and why they did it. Start building gallows on the south lawn of the White House. Film at 11 live. That's how I would do things. That's what our people should be demanding. we're being led by a corrupt, treasonous government. Our founding fathers risked everything. A lot of them gave everything. These were wealthy, educated men. Put it all on the line for freedom. We have the former government thanks to them that gave us the power. We have supreme authority over our elected officials. We give them consent to govern via our votes. We're the boss. We have the authority to remove them all tomorrow if we demand it. And since the beginning of our country, there's been two factions, for example. One that said parties are okay to have political parties. The other goes, no, because then there'll be allegiance towards the party, not the country. That's where we're at right now. Been there a long time. Especially the Democrat Party. They are so loyal to that party, they forget that they swore an oath to the Constitution and the people they serve. They don't give a shit about any of us or that Constitution or Declaration of Independence. None of it. They don't care. They're loyal to their leftist, communist regime. That's their goal. You're not going to find a Democrat senator or congressman that'll turn on Joe Biden unless we get some dirt on a couple of these senators. Trust me, we can do that. Will our side do that and use that leverage the way they do things against us, and they do it illegally? No. Why? Well, you'll have to ask them, but I suspect it's because they're cowards. So we have, and then the rhinos. Republicans in name only. They're traitors too. Then we have the Pinos, Patriots in name only, which right now is largely what I'm finding are patriots in name only. Saying you're one doesn't make you one. I'm doing everything that I can to reach out to people and with the meager means and abilities that I have. And I count on you all to share these things and do little simple things like put these lights up. Let's get this started. Like en masse, cancel your cable and satellite bills. Not, a few here and there, but, 20 million next month would be nice. And I learned a long time ago, decades ago, that most of y'all, you really don't think about this stuff. You just assume and you take a hell of a lot of stuff for granted that this is how it's been, this is how it's always been. The left counts on you believing that. You've never disappointed them. They've been taking away our country, our institutions, a little bit at a time for a good 60 years now. And you all just didn't pay attention. It's not that hard to do. It really doesn't cost you anything except for a little bit of time. So this is what I wanted to ask you people tonight. Light up your houses outside, red, white, and blue lights, and spread it. And put out the message. Hey, Democrats, our third light's on. Our third lantern is in our windows, and that third lantern means our enemies are from within, and you're the enemies. So I'm asking you guys to do this. It just can't be any simpler. Just like canceling your cable and your satellite, all your subscriptions to your left-wing media that hates you, hates your children. See, that's another thing. We're coming after our kids. And there's not the outcry that there should be. This is a really good time to say, you know what? We have the authority over our government to, redo it or dissolve it. We do have that authority, people. What are y'all doing? I want this government replaced. By that, I mean every single federal elected official that we put in office, we gave them authority via our consent to govern. They all need to be fired. Not at the polls, but now. Air our grievances against them, which there's no shortage of them, and demand that they resign their offices. They must comply. They're not our boss, we're theirs. And I can hear negative thoughts out there. Well, John, they'll just replace them with the same people. No, they won't. Because nobody's going to invest the time, money, and effort to run for election to replace these people, knowing that the people finally stood up and exercised their authority over them. No, they're going to walk the straight and narrow because they don't want the same damn thing to happen to them. It only takes a few months to replace them. Every state has a mechanism in which to have an election in short order. And we'll just, like I said before, we'll just tell the world, you know what? We're taking a timeout over here in America. Y'all do whatever the hell you're doing. Well, of course, Biden's letting them anyway. And we got some gallows to build, some examples to make, and some patriots to get into elective office. Patriots that will follow the Constitution, our Bill of Rights, that will protect our God-given rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All of it. But you don't. Just coming after your kids was another big thing they've been planning for forever. There's not the outcry that there should be. That's just, the left just loves it. They really do. It's like, wow, we can even go after their children. And some parents are like fine with it. They take them to these drag queen parades. And God, I was watching some of those the other day. And it's just absolutely disgusting. And these parents, not that any of them are going to watch any or listen to anybody like me, but who the hell are you people? My God, why would you take your child to something like that? Well, that's a rhetorical question. I know why, because you're dumbed down, you're an idiot, and you think, hey, everything's cool. You have no morals, you have no values. You have no respect for your children, or yourselves. That's just disgusting. The CRT, the DEI, the ESG, all of this crap. Y'all just sit back and you do nothing. You have all the legal authority over this government. All of it. It's your government of, by, and for the people. Those aren't just words. That's reality. Of, by, and for the people. Us. Nowhere does it say, and I'm tired of people calling this country democracy. Democracy is never even mentioned in any of our founding documents because our founding fathers couldn't stand a democracy. They're horrible. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. This is what we are. Where the people have the power, not the majority. In a democracy, here's how it works. In a pure democracy, if 51% of whomever agrees on a policy, that 51% wins. You don't get away with that here. You may get away with the 51% vote, for example, but not usually. Usually it requires 2/3 and 3/4. Depends on what it is. But you just can't go, oh, well, we're won over. We win. We change the entire policy of the country on one vote. It just, no. And I'm sick of these executive orders. I think most of those are unconstitutional. There's a lot of debate about that. That's for another show, I guess. I'm getting tired. And I'm getting tired of appealing to my fellow Americans to just do the minimal things here. You know, I try to keep things simple. I try not to bring in all the minutia and the backroom stuff, and because there's a hell of a lot that is going on and has been going on. And I learned a long time ago that trying to explain that to the average person, well, it's just a waste of time. You don't want to hear it. You don't know how to digest it. And I get frustrated with myself for not being able to cause you all to understand what I do and to know what I know and open your eyes. So I just stopped it. So I tried to keep it simple. These are the easy things that we can, must, and should do to stop these people. It's really simple. The time for thinking that we're never going to be communists, guys, you got to stop that, because we are. We have a two-tier justice system. We have a justice system that is going after anybody who does not agree with their communist positions. We have a government that is now going after the leading candidate for president and the opposition party. Oh, in France, let's talk about France real quick. We're a third world country because now we're jailing and arresting the leader of the opposition. Trump didn't commit any crimes. Biden has. Lots of them, and so is his family. It's called treason. When you sell your country out to another country, that's called treason. Biden has done that. We don't need a special counsel to prove it. It's already been proven. What we need is the Marines to go in there and arrest his ass, all of them, and put them under lock and key down at Gitmo and have a military tribunal against his ass. All of them. Now, y'all think, oh, you're crazy. You can't do that. Yes, we can do that, actually. We have the methodology in place to do that. Nowhere in our founding fathers did they ever say, well, somebody commits treason. Well, you have to get appoint a special prosecutor, and they're going to take a couple of years, and then probably the guy's out of power by then, and then it doesn't really matter because no harm, no foul. He's not president anymore. Really? Look at the damage he did as VP. Look at the damage he's done and is continuing to do as president. Our founding father says, oh, hey, guess what? When they caught Benedict Arnold, well, they didn't catch him. They caught his buddy, and who was spying with him, and he was part of the British military. They didn't say, well, we got to investigate all this. Let's call in all these people who know you, and let's see what really happened. No, they caught him. They knew what he did. They hung his ass. It was just that simple. There was no reason to discuss it. He was a spy. He got caught. Boom. They'd have done the same thing to Arnold if they could have got their hands on him, but they didn't. So nowhere in the Constitution does it say we have to do all these other things before we can prove treason. He's already done it. And you all need to start raising all kinds of hell because, folks, we're in a hell of a bad situation in this country and in this world. This Biden regime, who is the American version of the Chinese Communist Party, don't kid yourself, they are. The Democrats under Clinton started getting really cozy with China and literally selling out our secrets, military secrets, our technological advantages over them, which was huge, for money. Happened. That started under Clinton. Look it up. Now then, because they're buddies with, they love the CCP. They love that form of government, and they are damn determined to bring it here, and they're doing it right under your noses. The most powerful citizenry this world has ever known. You have all the power. You don't use it. I know a lot of you don't realize you have the power, and those that do don't know how to use it. Well, I know how to use it. I can't do it as an individual. I need you all to unite to help use it. Okay? Because while you all were kind of sleeping and not paying attention, I was wide awake, learning all about it and practicing and using methodologies that work against these people. They can be stopped. They can be beat. I've done it in my personal life multiple times. They come at me with everything they got. Didn't get me because I stood up with them and I punched back. They cannot. They don't have a reply or response for that. So, folks, light up those red, white, and blue lights. Get that. Be the representation of the third lantern in that old church. 1, if I land, 2, if I see, 3, up from within, and it is from within. Share it and pray to God, get off your knees, do the right thing, and join together in one righteous organization and start pushing back against Satan and his chosen political party in this country, which is the Democrat Party. Satan's favorite form of government is communism. If you didn't know that, you do now. He hates what we've had. And he's taking it out from under us with us without us doing a damn thing to stop him. I don't think Trump will make it to 2024. I don't think they'll allow him to stand for election. I don't see it happening. They may not be able to steal this election. I mean, the last one was obvious as how they stole it. They'd have to even be more obvious this time. Maybe you all might see it. I don't know. They're still, I know, still discussing that. Can we up our game and be even more overt in stealing an election and still count on them not doing anything? They're winning their odds on that one. But I don't see them allowing President Trump to stand for re-election. They got too much to lose. If he does win re-election, he'll undo all this mess, and they got too much invested. They've come too far in these last 2.5 years to allow anybody to set them back. They won't let Trump do it again. Just won't let him do it. So you all need to ask yourselves, what are you going to do? Now, the only way that I see that they keep their hands off of Trump is his 75 million or so-called supporters, patriots, do more than show up at rallies. They do things like I've been suggesting. Let's get these lights going. Let's in mass cancel these subscriptions to these left-wing lunatics that lie, divide, and protect the Democrat Party and our two-tier justice system. We can bring them to their knees. Trump needs help. The few good people that we do have in Congress, and there are a few good ones, they need your help. They need to see that the people now are rising up and exercising their authority before they're not going to put their neck in a noose for people who aren't willing to do the same damn thing. And you're not. You're not willing to risk a damn thing to stop what is going to happen to you. It's right now, if you keep on doing what you're doing, it's going to happen. Tyranny, communism is a bitch. Tens of millions of people are killed right after a communist revolution, right after the takeover. It always happens. Don't sit back and say, well, it's not going to be me. I'm not going to say anything. You all are the first targets, for the love of God. And to everybody on the right, you big talkers out there, know this. Should we lose this country, it's not going to be business as usual for you all. You're not going to have your radio shows, your TV shows, or your book deals. No, what you're going to have is a blindfolded cigarette, a brick wall, and a bullet between the eyes. That's what you're going to have. That's what communism looks like. So I need you all to stop doing that bullshit of, well, I got this book to sell. I got this show to be on. I got this money to make over here. Stop it. We lose this country, you're the first ones taken out. You all ought to be smart enough to know this, unless you're really into such a state of denial that you think it'll never happen. Keep on doing what you're doing, and it's going to happen. It's not an if, and, or maybe. It is going to happen. So you want to protect Trump? Be his wingman. Both sides. Every day. Active, motivated. Light up those houses. Light up those Capitol buildings. Light up your businesses. All of it. Let them know why we're doing it. Do more than just go to Trump rallies. Have our own grassroots rallies. Like we did back in the Tea Party days, but bigger. And no cowards this time. When they send the IRS after you, just say, you know what? We're coming for you too. No more cowards. Can I tell you this? Living under communism, that ain't for cowards. You won't survive it. So y'all need to man up and support the one man out there who's already shown he's got the guts to fight for you, and show that you have the guts to fight for and with him, not just at rallies, not just on election day, but 24/7 every day. Just like the Democrats are on the march against him and against us 24/7. You all must do the same things. No excuses. Any excuse you make, wow. I just don't even have words for that. The time for making excuses is over. The time for using your children as an excuse, your job as an excuse not to. Oh, I got to pay my bills. Do you think if we go into full-blown communism, you're even going to have your house, your job? No, you're not. Oh my God, people. You've heard, you know what redistribution of wealth is, right? Okay. Everybody's got a decent house and a decent job. You're gone. Where do you think they're going to put these illegal aliens that they keep bringing in? Your house. Okay? Don't think they won't. They'll throw your ass out in the streets, put you in a work camp, and put Juan and his wife in your home. Because they'll toe the mark. They'll provide that cheap labor, and they'll vote for the Democrats. Not the voting will really matter anyway, because those who count the votes control the election, and it's the Democrats who count the damn votes. So, y'all, we got a lot to do. We got a year to do it. July 4th of 2024 will be our last July 4th as a free nation if you fail in these simple little missions. And they're really simple. I've kept them simple for you. The lazy patriots' way to defeat tyranny. I love you guys. I love my country more, though. And we've got to stop excusing ourselves for doing nothing. We need to show support for President Trump by more than just words. And I'm convinced if we stand up and we start being the owners of this country like we are and exercising our authority, the few good men and women we have in Congress, they'll stand with us. And it wouldn't hurt us one damn bit to have a few good people in Congress, the House and Senate, on our side to do what must be done. They're not going to say boo. They're not going to lift a finger. And you can't blame them as long as the people remain silent and lazy. I wouldn't. Would you risk everything for people who show no interest at all to risk things on their own? Why would you go to fight for those people? Why? And I would ask President Trump if I had him right now, why are you fighting for people who show that they have no fight for you? To show up at your rallies, that's great. They vote for you, that's great. But what are they doing in mass every day to support you, to give you strength and more courage, and to let your enemies, our enemies, know that we are united in more than just words? What is he? Does he think that somehow you all are magically going to crawl out from under your beds and start being actual patriots? I don't know. But I know you people, and I know there's still some good people out there, enough to stop what they intend to do to us. Anyway, ran a little long on this. So, y'all have a great rest of your night, and please share this. Have a good evening.